Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday, the 28th of August. I'm Barry Fear. Thanks for joining us here tonight on the show and in the studio. And before we get into it, a recap of last week's show. We talked about a roast dinner and stuff like that. And now, on with tonight's show. Tonight, we will open the show about idiots brawling in public. Now, how silly and dangerous is that? To tell us more about that, I'm joined by my offsider. My offsider, good evening to you.
Good evening, Barry. Thank you for allowing us to be back into your studio and talk more about good stuff and talk about, like you mentioned before, growing in public. And last week we talked about roast chicken. Yeah, but this week we're gonna talk a lot of good stuff this week.
So, first up off the rank. Now, members of a public brawling at a Bankstown service station. That was not on. To tell us more about that, here with his opening sequence. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, we're sitting having dinner in the dining area, and then we watched the news, and then we saw that bad behavior in public, especially in the train station. People go and fight in the station, and how rude is that? How disrespectful is that? People go and behave like that in public.
Especially at a fuel station. Come on, guys. You are there to fuel up your cars, not to assault one another. And here's my offside for his comment on this now.
Yeah, if you don't have any other better thing to do, just go and do the workout in the gym or whatever to get it out your frustration or whatever you angry about. The train station is not a place to go and
Well, not the train.
Oh, gas station or train station. It's not a place to go and have a fight or disrespect other people in that area.
Another thing that happened as well, a man nearly fell off the platform onto the rail tracks. I don't know what happened there, but obviously he was putting his life at risk, and we brought this up on the show a few weeks ago about people putting their lives at risk on the railway tracks. Here's my offside.
Yeah, it's same thing happened last week. People they go and running around in the train the railway track. This week, someone was uh, probably having too much drink and then come and nearly fall off at the station. And guys, please, you have to be careful when you go out or whatever you do in public area or station or whatever. You gotta behave properly.
And play it safe too, especially at night. And that's our opening sequence. Now, on to the second subject on the night show, and that is stir fried chicken with, with vegetables and rice and couscous. Now, thanks to our chef here, he did a good job. Here he is to tell you about our chicken stir fry.
Um, It's obviously you gotta pick up some great chicken breast. Now the one is nice and uh, free range, and yeah, but you gotta pick your vegetable. It's nice and fresh from Woolies. That's one of the best with vegetable you can pick up from Woolies to start and make your stir fry.
And vegetables are so good for us, guys. You can't go wrong with them. And what a way to eat a nice, nutritious meal of chicken, stir fry chicken and vegetables. Yum! Oh, here's my offside for this.
Yeah, it's all about eat healthy, look out for your healthy and your weight. That's the most important thing for the client to eat healthy and look well as well.
And and chicken and veggies, guys, is a great one pot wonder for the winter nights. So get it on in the morning, and when you get home, get the family together, and you will have dinner on the table within 30 minutes. Here's my offside.
Mm. It's easy, quick. You done it in 20 minutes. Your dinner will be ready for your or 15 minutes. Your dinner will be ready for your family as well. It's nice and easy and healthy too.
Now, you may recall our Victorian trip, and I can tell you I saw James, one of our other outsiders who came with us on that trip. Now, just recapping on what happened on that trip, here's my offside.
Yeah, the trip is quite a little bit long, but it's a very enjoyable ride. We can see a lot of different view of the countryway. It's a beautiful. See the mountain, see the cows and sheep and the lamb. It's quite unique to have a travel to see the countryside.
So, the, so when we arrived in Victoria, as my offside had said, it was raining and cold. Here's my offside to tell you about this.
Yeah, yeah, like Barry said, when we arrived, it's very rainy and cold days, and winter, especially when you go to Victoria, it's a very cold place to be. But yeah, his father was there to welcome us and waiting for us in the station. It was quite very nice.
And the taxi drivers there too, they were nice
Mm,
and
taxi
they
drivers.
helped us out.
Yeah, that's right.
And you may recall my sister cooked an absolute breakfast for us all. And here's my offside to recap that story.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I really enjoy. I never used to have a French toast that beautiful until that morning that we have a breakfast at Barry's family home. Her sister make a French toast with sausage, bacon, and eggs. You name it, everything in there. It's
Uh,
so delicious.
and then we headed off to the church for the funeral.
Yep,
We told you about that, and I made a beautiful speech there.
you've done well in there, Barry.
And here's my offside to tell you that story once again.
It's kind of a situation is very hard, very tough to hold your emotion because you go there to farewell your beloved mother. But head off to you, Barry, for your very, very beautiful speech you done on that day. You do your family proud, and your dad proud, and everyone proud of you. Sorry.
After the funeral, it was off to the St. James pub. Now, if you are ever in Victoria, guys, and you are in the St. James area, do stop by the St. James Hotel pub because I can tell you it is great. Here's my upsider for this.
Yeah. Actually, we live in that pub, St James Hotel. It's quite very, very unique. That pub is it's a small town. Is everybody know each other. They all come together in the afternoon and have a beer and meal and then go home. We went there for the away. It's quite a lot of food. It's a lot of food. I'm saying a lot of food. We can't even finish the food in that area.
At the end of the week, we played some cards at the pub and then headed back to get freshened up, have a quick bite to eat, and then say farewell to St. James. Here's my upside.
Yeah, and then we have to after that we have to walk to Barry's family home and the family they again they provided dinner for us. It was quite beautiful. Have a great dinner and after that, yeah, when the taxis arrived, here we go.
Now here comes the interesting part. When we arrived back at Wangaratta, it was like we were stepping in to a tub of frozen ice cream. Here's my upside.
I don't know if I was stepping against television. I thought we were stepping out to a a freezer, deep freezer. I'm telling you how cold is that place. Not even that, it's raining and windy. The wind is so way cold in that place.
And the station was even closed, so we couldn't even wait. We had to wait near a phone box.
That's right. When we arrived, the station is still open. In like 2 minutes later, we're about to enter. They closed the whole station, shut down. So we have to hide in behind a little phone box to get ourselves warm, especially Barry. Lucky Barry have a blanket. His father gave him his blanket. That's a little bit bonus for you, Barry. But oh, what a day, right?
And what a night with the train. By the time we got on the train, it was dark, and oh boy, I was exhausted after that day,
Mm-hmm.
and I was sweating. I had a jacket on, I had
Hoodie on.
hoodie on, I had everything, and oh boy, here's my upside.
Yeah. And inside the train was warm. I went to check on Barry and he was sweating, and I have to take a couple layer off from him.
We arrived back at Albury at 25 minutes to midnight, and then it was the longest train ride. We couldn't even see anything until the sun was about to rise in NSW, and we got back into Central just after 8 o'clock, because the train had minor problems the night before, and we got back in to Oceania at 20 to 9 that morning, and I was glad to get home, have a proper shower, something to eat, and just relax. And that's how our Victorian adventure ended. Well, we're nearly at the closing stages of our show. We hope you've enjoyed it. And this is our last program for the winter series as we're heading into spring now. And here's my offside.
Yeah, very exciting time of the year, heading to spring. Not too hot, not too cold, nice temperature, but it's everybody I think is looking forward to summer's coming.
And longer days as well. So this is the last show of the winter series, and the spring and summer series kicks off next week. Next week, so we'll be talking about how to keep healthy for spring and how to stay safe on the road, how to organize your family getaway, how to get your car booked in, and lots more. So stay with us because spring and summer are coming up. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, exactly what Barry said to you. We are closing to winter. I mean to spring and summer. Everybody get ready and try to get rid of your chambers and put it away for next year. For next year, yeah, gonna be very exciting.
So hopefully we'll be able to bring you a Victorian adventure, a longer one where we'll be able to bring you lots of stuff. Hopefully we'll be able to arrange that again, and hopefully my father will be able to come with us if we arrange it. And here's my outsider to tell you how great my father was in welcoming us to. Well, to close our program tonight, let's go back to a bit of our Victorian adventure. So good. My father was welcoming, and here is my outsider to tell you how good he was.
He's a great man. He's very respectful and very welcoming us to his home. And yeah, it's a very good man to we get along with him. He's a very fun guy to hang out and have a beer or two. And he's a good laugh.
So hopefully next time we'll be able to stay a little bit longer and do a little bit of exploring, perhaps go to the SPC shop.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's where most of my fruit cups came from. So if you are in Victoria, viewers, please check out the SPC shop. They've got a lot there. Here's my offside.
That's right. If you go through St James, I'll guarantee to stop by the pub, St James Hotel, and have a chicken parmigiana. Oh, beautiful.
And you will rest in comfort, guys. I can tell you that. And the rooms in the house, they had a heater there. Here's my outsider.
Yeah, you have a heater, even a electric blanket, keep you warm the whole night in a cold. Oh,
And my room had the heater on as well. And I slept with my younger brother there that night. Here's my outsider.
Yeah, it's a great family to spend time in holidays or go and visit James.
So, if you are in the St. James area, guys, I suggest you go down and have a look. They've got a church there where my mum's funeral was held, and you can even attend the church service there on a Sunday morning, and then head off to the pub for lunch. So if you're down in Victoria, guys, please do check it out. Here's my outsider for his closing message now.
Yeah. Like you say, if you're down there, it's cold in winter, but if you go down there in a good time, you will enjoy it.
Well, that's a wrap for this Wednesday, the 28th of August. Thanks for your company this evening on the show, and we look forward to your company again next Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. And next week we will be taking a break to get ready for spring. And like all presenters, they need to have a week off to decide what they're gonna talk about. So next week's show will be about planning for the spring and summer. So do look out for that program. Watch out for that program, and please subscribe. Here's my outsider for his closing message on that.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening to us tonight, and thank you for your watching our video tonight. And please, you gotta be careful when you go out in public, and especially area that very look like dangerous. And please be careful as well.
And don't have a punch up at a service station.
Yeah.
You're there to refuel your car, that's it. And that's where I'd like to say good night to you now. And thanks for joining us here on the show tonight. Here's my outsider to say here's good night to you, and see you next week.
All right. Thank you guys for listening to us, and we hope you have a great night. And next week will be exciting. We're gonna look forward to talk about spring and summer.
And do look out for it. Watch out for it. And please press the like button and subscribe. And I look forward to hearing from you in the comment section. But that's all I've got time for tonight on the show. Thanks for your company this Wednesday night, and I will catch you next time round on the show. But from us, it's good night, and don't drink and drive, otherwise you could go
Bang! Flip, flop, flat.
and bang, flip over.
That's it.
And don't use your mobile phone because again, bang, Good night, everyone, and thanks for watching and enjoy your Thursday and have your brollies out because it's going to be cold and wet tomorrow. Good night.